to celebrate Book Week, we're going to be writing our very own book. Now, because we're focusing on poetry, we're going to be doing a children's picture storybook. So, the rules are simple. Our story needs to rhyme. My favorite picture storybooks always rhyme all the time. The story needs to be at least 6 pages. And on each page, it needs to have some kind of writing and pictures. It can go over 6, but we're going to print it later. So it'd be great if the amount of pages can be printed as a booklet. So generally speaking, we want the whole book to be a multiple of 4. I know 6 actually isn't a multiple of 4, but that's because I'm not including the front page and maybe like an inside empty page to start the book, or maybe a blurb. So in the end, a 6-page book will turn into 8. So think about that while you're writing a story. Try and make sure, including the front cover, back cover, or whatever you're wanting to do, it's a multiple of 4. So try and do 6 pages of writing or 10 pages of writing. Both would be good options. All right, we have here, we don't want to have too much writing per page. It's a kids or children's book. Imagine you're reading it to a prep. So really 2 sentences max. And you might want to do some couplets when you're rhyming, or maybe you'll just do a rhyme every page. The last word on every page will be connected with the rhyme. So here we've got our plan to help you jot out your ideas. And I'll just give you a quick example. So for down here, maybe my rhyming word is cat. So it says, here's my main word for that section. So I'm going to be thinking of all the different words that rhyme with cat. So then when I'm writing my story, I've got plenty to choose from. So maybe I have my friend, his name is Fred, and he is a cat. He jumps over the hill while he lands on the mat. He laughs really hard and grabs his bat while he throws it over and hits someone's hat. So there you go. And then here I'm going to write a new word, something that's not ending in AT. So I want to think of maybe, I don't know, catch. Oh, sorry, that's another CAT word. But anyway, you get the idea. Something with a different word ending. Sorry about that. So different word ending, so you have a variety of ideas. What I meant by theme over here is, what's your story going to be about? Often good picture storybooks have a moral to them. So maybe it's, we're going to read one in a second, and it's just about, it's not a moral, but it's a bedtime story. It's trying to get the child sleepy. You're talking about nighttime routines. Or maybe it's a story to teach the child about using manners, and maybe when the person wasn't using manners, something bad happens, and when they say please and thank you, everyone's happy, and everyone lived happily ever after, the end kind of story. Here's a book that I read to my son Hudson every night. So let's pick out a couple of things in the story that make it a great kids picture storybook. Little Bear's Bedtime by Jane Hissey. Time to build a house and play. Time to put my toys away. Now it's bath time, in I get. Not quite in pajamas yet. Time to give your teeth a brush. Story time, now listen, hush. Time for a cuddle, hug me tight. Now snuggle down and say good night. Good night, Hudson. Sleep well, buddy. And then we have our final page here. So let's quickly go through it. What made it an excellent story? Well, time to build a house and play. And again, This is sort of something that my son does do before he goes to bed. Putting his toys away, rhyming with play. Now it's bath time, get. So this is a new word. So we had play and away. Now I've got get. And then this one is yet. And again, is it a random story about a cat with a bat wearing a hat? No, it's again all about the theme of getting ready for bed. So it's in the same theme. And when maybe picking a new word to rhyme, this is really good. I often don't love stories that just pick the same word to rhyme every time. Time to give your teeth a brush. And then our next one is hush. So we have brush and hush. Play. And I've already forgotten what it was. Away. Get and yet. And our final ones was hug me tight. Say good night. One other thing to note is similar amount of syllables per sentence. So as an example, if I look at this one, time to give your teeth a brush. So it's about 7 syllables. And this one, story time, now listen, hush. That's 7 syllables. So often when you're writing a poem, this is very poetic, this story. You want to aim to have a similar amount of syllables on every page, or at least with whatever word you're rhyming with. So that just makes it a little better. Later on, we're going to have this sent to you, and you'll click on make a copy. You're not going to do it just yet, but soon you'll do this, and this will be how we'll publish it. So we'll leave this blank right here. So it says here, delete this box, so I will. And I just want to have my story. So let's pretend we're doing the exact same story, which we won't. So Little Bear's Bedtime. Written and illustrated by Sam Gorfine. And, it was Jane Hussey, but you get the idea. And then here I delete this one because it says leave text box when, sorry, delete this text box when it's finished, but don't delete the page, right? And then again, write that in, and then you get the idea. Delete this one, but not delete the slide, just delete the box, yeah? And then here, again, I'm gonna, delete the picture, and I'll need to, when I'm ready, when I print it off, I'm going to hand draw my picture in that spot where the duckies were. And then here, I'm just going to rewrite it in here, yeah? And again, aiming for 1 sentence, maybe 2, and I might just need to make the text a little bigger. You get the idea. The reason why we're using this template is because I've got little page numbers here, and again, it's a multiple of 4, so that's really helpful. And if you need any more information, these little notes here will help you out knowing what you should do with it. But when I print it, we'll be able to bind it, so it'll be stapled, and it will be an A3 piece of paper folded in half. So each page will be an A4 size, and it will be ace. It'll look really professional. I am really excited to see these books in a couple of weeks' time. So we're going to start it this week by planning. Next week we'll be practicing some drawings, and then by the following week we'll have it done, and we'll hopefully be able to present it to a young one and see their joy as they read our amazing stories. Love your work. Bye.